Share up the video, please.
Calypso.
Share it.
Calypso.
Let them know we're here.
Calypso. Calypso. Calypso.
Sing it, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, Calypso.
Sing it, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, Calypso. I said that I am the seed of the growling tiger now. I got to sing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, Calypso. It is a living vibration,
Rooted deep within my Caribbean belly.
lyrics to make a politician cringe.
Or turn a woman's body into jelly. Shake it, shake it. It is a sweet soca music.
That's Calypso. It could have never refused it.
Calypso.
It make you shake like a Shango now. Why it is you're shaking, you don't know. That's Calypso. Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. This is the only day in the year that I do not have to check the date to see what is the date, because this is the date that I was born. January 17th, 2018. It has been a very interesting birthday so far, thus far. It started quite early. I was awake before the sunrise because I had to go on TV6 this morning to do that interview with Fazir Mohammed. I was up in darkness. I was on the road heading east while the sun was rising. I haven't done that for so long. And I want to tell you something. There may come a time, if we do not rescue Trinidad and Tobago, that many of us will have to consider leaving this country to survive. Because anybody who has any kind of ambition, any kind of self-development goals, you can't get it in Trinidad now. Trinidad is a stunting criminal gangster paradise. That is all Trinidad is. You have a government in office that is not interested in any way in developing this country or developing the people. Anything that they can rip off, rape, plunder, pillage, or steal, that they do it. Anything else, forget it. And they were counting on there only being a UNC across the floor. So there's PNM and UNC. And both of them polling the voters. Both of them polling the voters. Because UNC don't have to say anything of any value to anybody. They just have to wait for the PNM to have stolen enough and pissed the public off enough, like they did when they were in office, for the exchange to happen. But they've hit a snag. because there is a Progressive Empowerment Party. And this organization, celebrating its 1 year anniversary, is a bigger birthday than mine, because it is celebrating its 1 year anniversary tomorrow. And the celebration takes place Saturday at the Bandstand Lounge Park, and it is going to be massive, and it is going to be beautiful, and it is going to be family and sharing, and it is going to be the best event, the best political event that you've ever seen in this country. No, it's not going to have the hundreds of millions of financial dollars to drape the place, and I mean, we don't have stunting money, but we have heart and passion for country. There is a team that is working on this event that don't stop. I am party to Threads as the interim political leader, and I have a role in the party as I handle a lot of the communication. So I am party to a lot of threads of the people that are working to get this event ready. And I want to tell you something. That group of people could rescue Trinidad and Tobago. And I want to tell you why. They're doing that not just out of love, you know. They're doing that not just out of patriotism, you know. They're doing that in spite of victimization. They're doing that with an abundance of courage that is based on nothing but heart and soul. I want to tell you, these people inspire me every single day. Now, when I woke up this morning, I had gotten 3 hours sleep from last night, and I am exhausted, and I'm thinking, I'm going to a complicit media house, and I'm going to be grilled, and it's not going to be fun, and why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And then I get a phone call from the hardest working PRO in politics, Janice Lemon Creaky, to make sure that I am awake and that I am ready to go on set. And then I open the threads, the different organizational threads, and there are like 100 messages. And these people are all working, and they're all over the world, and they're just working with whatever we have to get the job done. And it's like a running list. This is done, that is done, this is organized. And it's like spinning gold out of straw. It's like fishes and loaves in the Bible. I want to tell you something. This Progressive Empowerment Party, it's not been an easy road to get here. People have come, people have left, but the people that have stayed, the people who was meant to be this, what they are and what they're doing, I don't know how it looks from anybody else's position, but from where I sit, to just see that amount of commitment to country. This is not to me. This is not to each other more than anything else. It's a commitment to country. This is a commitment to hope. That's what it is. It's a commitment to hope. A lot of people, they do this. It has nothing to do with personalities. And it has everything to do with hoping for a better country. And that proverbial sunrise that I saw this morning reminded me of that. That there are so many people. I went upstairs to get ready just now to come and do this video, and I get a phone call. I answer all my calls, and this guy, I don't know who it is, and he just called to say, "Sir, I'm watching you a year now, and you have my full support, and party PEP, and I'm coming." And thank you very much for that call. And I'm just realizing that we're at that place where what we thought we'd become, we are. We are the last symbol of hope in a country desperate for rescue. And I want you to pay attention now beyond the talk. In communication, a real skill, we do something called rapid response communication. And critical thinking is integral to rapid response communication, because you have to be able to do two things very quickly. You need to listen to hear what people are saying, and then you have to pay attention to what they're not. And I want you to develop this as a skill now as we go forward. Because today, the vampire system was rocked to its roots. This morning, on a little interview, 15 minutes long, they tried their endeavor best to make the Progressive Empowerment Party look like nothing, a fly-by-night organization. There are no members. And look, your leader, call the Prime Minister a jackass. Those were the agendas of that interview. And I had to see that coming. And I had to also, in between answering, dealing with those things, because it's not an interview. It is a put you on a spot, a bust you up, a mash you up. That's how Trinidad politics is done, even at this level. And I have to see that, and I have to deal with those questions, statements, antics, and still get a Progressive Empowerment Party message out there. And it's like trying to hit a moving target, standing on an unstable platform in the dark. That's how it feels, because I don't know what's the next thing coming out his mouth. And he's not going to let me finish my statement. So I have to make sure that I claim my space. And I have to do all of that without looking arrogant or angry. And I have to make sure that I understand that there are a lot of people seeing me for the first time, never seen me before. And I have to be cognizant that they are here to see and to hear what this PEP that are hearing about really about. And the saying, you don't get another chance to make a good first impression. So I'll be cognizant of all of that. So I'm there, the PRO is standing there and she's filming live, and it's going to social media, unscripted. You see everything. You see us walk into the studio. You see the greeting between me and Fazir. You see all of the interview. You see the pause for the news, and you see the end. You see the entire thing, so you see what it is like, how unpredictable each situation is. And after the interview, I had to find out, and I had to wait. There are people that their opinions are very important to me. I don't just need, and I have never, ever, 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 I have never, ever, ever surrounded myself with yes people, and I'll tell you why. Philip Edward Alexander, I am a glutton for knowledge. There is nothing I like more. I have a special friend in my life. She's an ex-girlfriend, but she is a critical thinker, and I call her when I have a problem that's stumping my mind. I have another friend on Facebook. In fact, I have a couple of them. I just watch their feeds, and I just like to see when people approaching conversations at the deep end of the pool. So I have never been able to, yes, people bore me. Don't kiss up to me. Don't ever come and blow smoke up my ass, because I want to tell you something. You will quickly end up arm's length from me. The people that I want around me must tell me the truth. Tell me what is going on. I need to know. People in power get insulated from reality quickly, and I don't ever want that. I want to be able to know at any given time what I am coming across like, because I am responsible for me. I am responsible for how I come across. Now, there are times when I am deliberate, and you will hear me use strong words, and I'm literally kicking down doors, and I know that I'm doing that. I know that I'm using it to kick down doors. There are people whose opinion matter to me, and walking out of that studio, getting to my car, heading home, I'm just taking calls from the people that I need to tell me an honest opinion of what they saw on that screen. And these people, they don't hold back, They don't hold back at all. And the cascade of glowing responses to the interview, I was able to relax, and I was able to rest. I haven't been able to be on a television interview, I think, for over a year, because we've been the victims of a media blackout, and they've deliberately set up to make us disappear. And Fazir Mohammed admitted on national television today that Trinidad media is corporate owned and corporate controlled, and has a corporate agenda, and determines what people see. And they've made a decision, rightly or wrongly, he said, that they made a decision, we are irrelevant. We've brought out tens of thousands of people in the last year. We've traveled Santa Cruz, Tunapuna, Mamoral, Point Fortin, Chaguanas. We've been to places, they go Martin, length and breadth. We've not crossed the pond into Tobago as yet, but that's coming. We're building out in Tobago. Tobago is a special case, and we know that we have to protect our members in Tobago from THA victimization and PNM victimization, because 70% of the population of Tobago live on THA handouts. We know, and we have to be careful, so we're not crossed the pond yet. So for the PNM people who say you're reaching Tobago, so you can't say Trinidad and Tobago, I want to tell you something. If you're born in Diego Martin, Woodbrook, San Fernando, Manzanilla, you're from Trinidad and Tobago. If you're born in Charlottesville or Stobie, you're from Trinidad and Tobago. It ain't just an island. We are a unitary state. But forget that for now. The distractions, we're moving beyond the distractions. Our goal as a political organization is not just to make our noise. And I think I told Fazir that this morning. I think I conveyed that message to everybody looking on this morning, that we're not just here to score points. I know how to tear people apart. And I saw that Fazir gave me opportunities to go for his jugular, and I didn't. I was there, not on Phillip Edward Alexander's ego business. I was there as a representative of the Progressive Empowerment Party, the hope of a lot of people in this country. And that's what I was there to do. When I said good morning, it was on behalf of the entire Progressive Empowerment Party. And I was clear in my mind of what I was there for. I was absolutely certain. And the truth of the matter is, the media in this country has kept us back deliberately to their own peril, because the people sought us out, and the people found us, and the people claimed us. So what happened this morning to a lot of people who never saw us before, they didn't realize, and whoever is controlling the media, that wanted to control the narrative, that wanted Philip Alexander to come out there looking like a hothead, and this party is a fly-by-night organization, and ignore it, the opposite happened. Because a lot of people who were standing on the sidelines unsure, because it's a strong step to take. Mommy and Papi vote in PNM or UNC all my life. This is a big step to take. Why not involved in politics at all? All these politicians full of shit. And it's a big step to take, to say that I am standing now as a member of a political party. And today, they started piling on. And we knew that the moment the Trinidad and Tobago saw this party, that would happen. It's like that scene in the movie where the curtains are drawn and the windows open and sunlight comes in and fresh air to clear the dank and decrepit smell of decay. People are seeing hope. They are sensing this is not just a bullshit party, because we are out there saying, steal our ideas. Keith Rowley, I said today, use the New York City Police Department Internal Affairs Division. Hire them. Pay them $10 million. It's in our best interest to have a fully sanitized Trinidad and Tobago police service. Suspend and prosecute every rogue and corrupt police officer. Steal that idea, Keith. Bring internal affairs, bring Scotland Yard, bring the FBI, you could bring anybody that is credible, that is in the investigatory business, who could come into our tiny little 5,000-man police service and find all the corrupt criminals and remove them, suspend them immediately, remove them from service, take away their badge and their gun, suspend them from active service, and begin the process of prosecution. That will do three things. That will remove the criminal elements from the police service, so that the police service can start to be a functional law enforcement agency. That will empower and free up the honest, decent, law-abiding members of the same Trinidad and Tobago police service. And it will give the people of Trinidad and Tobago faith and hope and trust in our men and women in grey. I met Bill Bratter when he came to Trinidad and Tobago, while I was working with Gary Griffith. And there was a crime seminar, and it was held at the Hyatt. And there was a breakout session for just communication people. And that's what I was there for. And I asked a question, and Bill Bratton said that is spot on. He said that was the difficulty. When we solved crime, when we reduced murder, when we turned New York City from the crime capital of the world and made it safe again, it still took years for people to believe that the police service wasn't corrupt, that the police officer knocking on your door may not be a criminal. It took years, and you have to be aware of that. You have to be cognizant of the fact that decades of abuse by police, and let's be frank, there have been police officers in this country that built reputations on criminality. And we, Keith Christopher Rowley, you want my respect? You want me to stop calling you a jackass? You have Slam 100.5 calling me out for calling you a jackass. If you are not a jackass, Keith Rowley, clean up the police service. I just told you how. I just told you how. Clean up the police service. Clean it up. Because if we clean up the police service, step one, if we clean up the police service, law enforcement can do its job properly. Step two, simultaneously, secure the nation's borders. Secure the nation's borders. We propose a maritime security wall. That is the repurposing of 6 barges that will be repurposed to house Customs, Coast Guard, Army, Police, fast interceptor boats and helicopters. That will create a ring around Trinidad and Tobago, a virtual wall around Trinidad and Tobago. People are just interrupting to say if there are trolls on the conversation tonight, you have to ignore them. Please ignore them. Do not answer them no matter what they say, because after the video, the team removes the troll comments anyway. Do not take on any trolls. Regardless of what they say, let them talk, let them stunt, let them go. No response. Back to this. If you clean up the police service, you're in a position now where you could secure the nation's borders. We could work joint venture exercises with international partners to end smuggling, contraband, drugs, guns, human trafficking into and out of Trinidad and Tobago. All of a sudden, the things start to make sense. All of a sudden, the things start to make sense. Because we would dry up the funding of the criminal class. But instead of doing that, we're ignoring what's going on in the country.
Globally, they have emerged in unexpected places.
Listen to this.
Only 1,600 miles from the coast of Florida sits a small island nation that has produced more ISIS recruits per capita than anywhere else in the Western Hemisphere.
The threat from ISIS is closer to home than we think. Is the threat of paramilitary group ISIS being brought closer to the Caribbean?
Trinidad has become one of the most dangerous countries in the Caribbean.
This is National Geographic. This is what the Americans saying about our country. UNC and PNM failure. UNC and PNM stunted. Leave us with this.
I'm coming to contact with them at some point in time. I started distributing DVDs and encouraging people to join with ISIS. Alright, so these are some of the videos that we would have sought to distribute. Starts off with the video.
I will stop it there because I don't want to promote this madness, but I want you to understand. Any organization in the Democratic Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, I am saying this, I want to say it clear, so if they repeat what I say, I want them to repeat it clearly. I'm going to share that video in our live video, so you have, and you could watch it at your leisure. Any organization in the Democratic Republic, sovereign independent state of Trinidad and Tobago that is in the business of recruiting fighters for international organizations, extraterritorial regions, should be removed from Trinidad and Tobago. There should be a law in Trinidad and Tobago. You should not be able to operate in Trinidad and Tobago and destabilize other countries. But wait, before you write that law, clean up the police service. Before you write that law, secure the nation's borders. Because if you stop the drug, gun, and human trafficking trades, all of those stunting artists that recruiting for this and that one, their funding will dry up. Because their funding not coming from normal, legal, decent sources, you know. Their funding is coming from illegal trades in guns, drugs, and human cargo. And I want to tell you something. Clean up the police service, secure the nation's borders, and those ISIS recruiters will dry up on their own. And those who do not dry up on their own, work with international partners, identify them, ship them to Guantanamo Bay. This has nothing to do with Trinidad and Tobago. We should not be recruiting for anybody else's war, regardless of what you think. This is a country that's supposed to be built on peace, love, and harmony. And let's all get along. Let's fix our business home. Let's make sure all of our people can have a good life, of hope and opportunity in Trinidad and Tobago before we go and interfere with anybody else's business. We can work with international partners to secure this nation's borders in a day. 24 hours. Within 24 hours, the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, all of our international partners, India, China, Brazil, could lend us, loan us, send to us fully equipped gunships 3 miles out. So that the Trinidad Coast Guard, if they're functional, together with international partners for oversight to prevent corruption. Because let's be honest, we have corrupt members of law enforcement at every level. Because if we didn't, it couldn't happen. So let's face it, fix it, and move on. So with international partners as supervision, the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard, backed up by international firepower, could stop every marine craft, pleasure or commercial, approaching this nation's virtual border. Stop and search. All of a sudden, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Keith Christopher Rowley, has told this nation that there are 30,000 illegal guns in this country. But he has not told the nation what he is doing to pick them up. So a Progressive Empowerment Party government will award law enforcement alone. We don't want citizens and civilians bringing guns. We're not encouraging that nonsense at all. We will incentivize and motivate decent, hard-working, law-abiding members of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and other arms of law enforcement. To law enforcement, we will pay $1,000 for every gun seized and brought in to be destroyed. Hear that whole sentence again. Seized and brought in to be destroyed. It don't go back out. It don't recycle. It don't recirculate. It don't lend and rent out again. It done. It is now a hunk of molten lead or metal. The police officer who brought it in, he gets $1,000. If he brings in 1,000 guns, he gets $1 million. Pay your police officers well. Your law-abiding, decent police officers. Let them work hard. Let them go above and beyond the call of duty and reward them for it. All of a sudden, the country going to start to make sense. All of a sudden, mankind afraid to stand. All of a sudden, they know Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is clean, it cleaned up, it organized, and they professional, and they motivated to come for your ass. All of a sudden, all them stunt artists going looking for proper jobs. You see, poverty may be the mother of crime in Trinidad and Tobago, but criminal enterprise is the father. We've allowed criminal enterprise, gang culture. I mean, how could we have a gang culture? I remember a couple of years ago, I started hearing about gang this and gang that. In Trinidad, gang was Crips and Bloods. I used to watch that stupidness on TV in LA. How could that have reached Trinidad and Tobago? This little tiny island where if you sneeze, somebody else say, bless you. How did it happen here? And why didn't either the revolving door, the musical chairs of PNM, UNC, UNC, PNM, PNM, UNC, UNC, PNM, how come not at one time have either of them, any of them, taken it upon themselves to properly address the shortfalls and shortcomings of law enforcement and protection of the people, a fundamental right of every citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. If the government cannot secure the people, the government have no business in government. First job, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, security of the person, peaceful enjoyment of property. If the government cannot ensure that, if the government cannot guarantee that, I tell people already, this carnival is not like any other carnival you ever encountered before. Ladies, I'm saying this again to you. You do not know who among your friends sharing your Instagram photos with human traffickers. Ladies, you do not know who among your partners, acquaintances, and even friends taking a little $4,000 to set your ass up. You don't know who coming to pick you up to take you to a party that you will never see. Ladies, this is to wake you up. This is to shock you into reality. You do not know which man you flirt with in the dance that look cute. You think he's nice. I could see myself having this man babies. And you and him leave the party together and nobody ever see you again. Nobody ever see you again. In life. Sold into human trafficking. You do not know. The enemy within is the enemy to fear. You do not know if you could be a victim of deliberate human trafficking or rape or just violent murder. There are some animals moving among us that are certain that there is no law enforcement. We become the wild, wild west. We believe you could have National Geographic coming to Trinidad to film an article about lawless ISIS recruitment in Trinidad and Tobago. What do you think the rest of America is going to think of our country? What do you think the people of the United States of America will think about our country? I want to tell you something. See all this 1% bullshit people want to tell you? I want to show you why Phillip Edward Alexander is the man for this job. Because I will take the one out of that 1% and leave them with noughts. I want to tell you something. You see the people who feel that because they make up this little organization of backroom boys to make decisions about what gets spent in this country, to lend money to the state, questionable funds so that they could get back state checks so they could deposit clean money. See all that bullshit? Done, you know. Them and all done. Imagine you elect a government to office that immediately low-class crime and high-class crime done same time. Imagine that. Imagine you get a government that shuts down UDCOT, EMBD, EFCL, Sport TT, FEMCOT, all of the special purpose companies that have been end running the tender process and replace it with a robust and transparent tender process. Imagine you get a government that makes as rule and law any contract for any public works to be done in this country must be given to contractors registered within the constituency that the contract is being executed in, and that workers must come from there. So that when work going on in Manzanilla is Manzanilla workers, and when work going on in St. Anne's is St. Anne's workers, and when work going on in Caroni is Caroni workers, all of a sudden, all them overnight big boys who was getting all the contract and selling contract and subcontracting to make the profit, because we know that bullshit. When your partner in office, he giving you all the contract and you subcontracting it to the man who really costing to do the contract. You didn't need tobacco. Plenty of them, government come and government go, you become a billionaire and you lease trucks and they stick a sticker over your name. Over the last stunter, the same truck owner now renting to you $1,500 a day, $2,000 a day, and you renting a next man truck because you getting $50,000 a day to rent the truck. And you get him $2,000 and you and the man who gave the contract splitting up that money and you become a billionaire. You become a billionaire and your people think, because they see your name in lights and they're thinking of this hard work. It's hard corruption and theft. And imagine you get a government that in one move, in 1 year, end white-collar crime and low-class crime. Imagine that. Imagine all of a sudden it is possible for you to do business without people coming to ask you for protection or kickback. Imagine all of a sudden it is possible to do business with the government where you qualify on capability and meritocracy, and you do not have to buy contract and give ministers kickback. Because in a progressive empowerment party government, and we said it last week Saturday in our meeting, somebody raised the point, and I'm saying again, all pots stand on their own bottom. If you get catch in an orange jersey committing any crime, especially a crime against the people, you would have made an enemy of Phillip Edward Alexander. And I will work doubly hard to prosecute you, because if we stand against criminal enterprise in the PNM and the UNC, it will apply doubly to the PEP. We will bring integrity and morality back into this country. We will work non-stop until the people could say to themselves, free at last from the cancer that has corrupted and destroyed this country. We will be rebuilding from scratch. We will be paying down debt. We will be undoing and redoing. But at some point you will see the light at the end of the tunnel. At some point you will realize people saying, you know, boy, I leave my key in my car, nobody touch my car. I leave my bicycle, no padlock, nobody touch my bicycle, my front door open. When you come, just knock, open the door right there. You can imagine the feeling in this country when we get back to there. All of a sudden, money started to spread through the community. You ain't getting $100 million stunted money, but everybody getting money. So the parlor getting money, and the workers in the community getting money. The hairdresser, the shoemaker, the dressmaker, everybody starting to make money. The economy started to knit itself back together. The community started to get strong again. All the people that was homeless and begging, even them getting opportunity. We put in a 25-cent tax on every plastic bottle. If you're in the plastic bottle business, you will pay a 25 cents clean-up tax. That's what we're calling it. It is your beverage and bottle container bill clean-up tax. Because the purpose of that 25 cents is to clean your plastic bottle mess. And we will pay that to everybody who go and pick up plastic bottle refuse and bring it to redemption centers for their 25 cents. All of a sudden, even the indigent, the homeless, the unemployable, the untouchable, even them could work hard whole day and put some money in their pocket. Imagine, cast your mind forward. A homeless man who all he doing is picking up bottle whole day and redeeming it and making his money. Eventually he end up buying a second-hand van so he could pick up more bottle and move it. He could organize teams to work with him. Them getting 10 cents, he holding 15 cents because he owned the van. And all of a sudden, community controlling that area. And you know that them working and they picking it clean. What happened? Rainfall. And they have no plastic bottle in the drain to block up the drain to cause flood. Win. Society wins right wrong. The indigent and the homeless win right wrong. Everybody wins. Keith Rowley and Kamala Persad says, I cannot explain to you why, despite all this stunting old talk in the parliament and on the news, nobody's thought to attack the problem of the perennial flooding at the level of the plastic bottle manufacturer. But we will. We will. And all of that rainwater that we take in the hills and dump in the sea, the Progressive Empowerment Party will, like New York City, like Boston, like Japan, build massive retention ponds in every community to hold water within the communities that get rainfall, that deal with that rainfall. So we will hold it and treat it for dry season. There will never be a reason to tell you water going to go. And each constituency will be responsible for its own water. 41 micro water distribution processing facilities that will either take bulk water from Wassa, because that is all Wassa will be doing. Bulk water, or it will have retention ponds, or access to dams, or it will have access to existing groundwater wells, desalination. Whatever it takes to supply the people of that constituency through that company, 41 joint ventures. If you live in Diego Martin and you want to get into the water distribution business, the Progressive Empowerment Party government will partner with you. And you will be responsible, and you will have a time frame in which to get 24/7 water to everybody. You get paid by the liter. PNM know that. UNC know that. But they don't want that. They want Wassa to fail. So a white knight can ride in and buy it. Like they're trying to do with Petrotrin. Driving Petrotrin into the ground. They're trying to crash Petrotrin to depress the price so a white knight can buy it. Like they're trying to do with Angostura. They're trying to crash Angostura so a white knight can buy it. They're trying to devalue all of the things that are all of the crown jewels. But I'm saying to Trinidad and Tobago, all of these stunts, we will nationalize them and seize control and pay back. Don't come and interfere with the people's property like that. This is madness. We are watching absolute insanity take place. The atrocity that is going on in the Aripo Savannah. I want you to hear this. When I say these words out loud, I wonder if I am in Alice in Wonderland, if I went down the rabbit hole. The organization that is set up to protect the Aripo Savannah, the Environmental Management Authority, that organization that is set up to protect it, them, the protector, the people who by law have the responsibility, and they say so on their website, since 1937, these old growth trees and forests are protected. That this is scientifically studied flora and fauna, that the Aripo Savannah is an internationally respected resource. The organization set up to protect it gave somebody permission to rape it. Now, how do you get a certificate of clearance to rape an old world savanna, a heritage site, protected? Where else in the world do you think anything like that could take place? Where else? Where else? We are at the point now where they could give out a contract. We're at the point now where they could give out a contract to run roads through the savannah. I don't know why somebody just tell me check my WhatsApp. Anyway, right now, they could give out a contract to run roads through the savannah. And what will you do? Do you understand? You have no voice under this government. And under the UNC, you had no voice. There are no systems of government set up to protect you. All the people have is their own voice. And the people speak up. And the people speak up, and when they speak up, now they're using defamation laws in the courts to silence the people. Because when you get the first pre-action protocol letter and they follow through, it is supposed to gag you. Even though the matter has not been processed, even though the matter has not been dealt with in the court of law, if you continue talking, they will increase penalties if you lose. So all of a sudden, you're effectively gagged by a letter. This is what they're doing now. So the people who have no voice, no representation, no recourse, even the courts are being used against them. All of this. And I am going through what I am going through to learn and see and know so that we could fix this. We could fix all of this. This country could fix. We could fix everything in this country. All we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, have to do is say to each other, okay, we want a better Trinidad and Tobago. We will fix this. We will stand together. One people under one flag. We could do this. We could make sure that everything is and could be as it is meant to be. Everything that I told you here just now, off the top of my head, is being formulated into policy by the Advisory Council. We are creating a document, our manifesto, called Reboot the Republic, which is literally take us back to the Constitution, undo and redo every failed organization of state. If the Chief Justice is being brought into disrepute over his sexuality, that is foolishness. If you want to fire the Chief Justice over the fact that there are people in jail for time served longer than they would have been in jail if they had been convicted. But they're convicted of nothing. And they're languishing in jail. Fire the Chief Justice because we have 1,250 murder cases in remand. That in a country that can only handle 30 to 40 murder cases a year. So that means some of those people, whether innocent or guilty, will already be serving 30 to 40 years in jail. Because there's no bail for murder. So if a police officer give you a murder charge, you're inside for 30 years. And that is insane. Fire the Chief Justice for that. Fire all of the people who have the authority. You have a president of the republic who has some powers. You know what the powers? He has pardon. The power of pardon. Between him and the Chief Justice, they could ask the Commissioner of Prisons and the Director of Public Prosecutions to work together and identify all the people languishing in remand who have been convicted of nothing but can't afford bail and can't afford a lawyer, so they're stuck in the dark. Bring them to a court, let them plead guilty and pardon all. Let them back into society. That is a human rights violation, and nobody, not one single attorney, no judge, no public official is paying attention to that. And that is wrong. That is an atrocity, and it is being done in our name. And we need to fix that. You don't need a section 34 or a section 35 or even a section 36 to get the office holders to say, because the Director of Public Prosecution under the Constitution has the power to enter into the court and vacate any matter. Any matter. And he doesn't even have to give justification. He could vacate it. He's the DPP. As weird as that sounds. The Chief Justice could bring them judges, plead guilty, time served. They end up with a record. It's up to them, it's up to you, it's up to everybody. The President could just pardon all. The DPP could vacate the matters. And it may sound like a nothing issue to you until it is somebody you know trapped in that system. Those 3 people that escaped from the jail and end up getting killed, one of them, his son, is a big activist now, a youth activist. And he tell you, those people stuck in a system. They rather dead, they rather risk death. How could we have become this? How could we have become a nation that is so incapable of proper and effective law enforcement that we've decided to strip people of their fundamental human rights and abuse them? How could this be who we are? And why hasn't any of these musical chair parties fixed this? And I want to ask you these questions because I want you to ask these questions one to the other. I want you to put this into the public conversation. Ignore the trolls. Ignore the don't like Phillip and all that bacchanal. That is not for we. We're not here for that. We're not here for them kind of conversation. I'm not interested. I'm not interested at all. They have people paid by the government to just damage and smear my name and character. I don't even take them on. I'm not interested. Don't send the link to me. Don't send screenshots. I don't care what they say. I don't care at all. I am no longer going to be answering every barking dog. I want to deal with the issues. My role and the Progressive Empowerment Party, we've admitted and accepted that our responsibility to Trinidad and Tobago is to inform, educate, and empower the people. You cannot empower the people without giving them real political choice. There is nobody else on the political landscape willing to do the work that we've done. When I told Fazir this morning, in 1 year, we've established 39 constituency executives, he rocked back in his chair. There is no other political party that could say that. 1 year, come on, man. 2018 is level up. 2018 is level up. What we accomplished in our first year will be eclipsed by what we do in the second year. And we have plans that will rock that vampire system. You know what I'm telling you? The only way to fix this country is to undo and redo it. Switch it off and turn it back on. Get rid of all of these little emperors. Get rid of all these little tiny dictators. All of them. Change all the rules. Bring it to a service-driven organization. No set of cabinet stunters. A senate that you don't need. A president that you have no use for. A judiciary that can't function. We are in a mess. And you have to undo and redo that. You don't need all them robes and wigs and bullshit to serve the people. You're a public servant. Come and serve the people. What it is about some of our people that they go to get an education to inflate their ego. Why can't we just be a country where the public service serves the public? Why can't we have those things that we're supposed to be guaranteed under the Constitution? Right? Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, security of the person, and peaceful enjoyment of property. Those are such simple things to do in a country that is so tiny. There is no way to show it on the map when you see the other countries there. There's no way to show it. There's no way to display it. There is no dot tiny enough. So why? Why, if Keith Rowley or Kamala Prasad-Desessa deserve your vote, why haven't they done any of these things to fix this country? We're not touched yet on progressive empowerment party policies, promises. Home ownership for all. For all. We will shut down the HTC completely. We will open credit to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Once you have a job, you could qualify for a home loan. Once you have a job, even a minimum wage earner, you could qualify for a home loan. And we are going to make sure houses are built in this country. Starter homes from $100,000 go up. And a starter home at $100,000 for somebody paying zero deposit, zero interest for 30 years. The mortgage payment every month is $477. All of a sudden, a man or a woman that has a minimum wage job earning $2,200 a month, $477 could come out of that. You could have two people, husband and wife, $5,000 a month, less than 10% of the salary, pay the mortgage. All of a sudden, people could own their home. And I want you to understand this. Once you give people the opportunity to own a home in Trinidad and Tobago, they will become shareholders and stakeholders, and they will have an interest in a better country. And they will work together to try to make sure this country, imagine all of a sudden the street that you live in on, everybody own their home. Imagine the street that you live in on. All them serial renters will have to sell their houses because people will be able to qualify for finance up to $1.5 million. We ain't just talking houses up for $100,000. If you're working for $15,000 a month and this is your first time that you are buying a home, you will qualify for government assistance for your first home. Zero deposit, zero interest up to 30 years. We want to make sure that all of our people have a stake in this country. If you end crime, secure the borders, clean up the police service, make the people of the country stakeholders, we need to do again. We're going to make sure that the farmers have access to land, create a central marketing agency, vest all the farmland into that agency and lease it out for production, not at a cost, at a production target. Once you hit in your production target of what you're supposed to be growing, you don't have to pay us a cent. If you're not producing and you're not growing, you will lose access to the land. We're giving you access to the land for as long as you hit that target that we set for the crop that you're supposed to grow from 1 acre up. Now all of a sudden, everybody who wants to try their hand at farming could come. Because we're giving you the seeds and the chemicals and the fertilizer and everything. We're providing water. And we will make prayer last and a horror. Don't even contemplate it. Don't pick a mango on somebody else's tree without permission. Because you will go to jail. We will protect the farmer. And we will put the farmer back at the position he was supposed to always have in society. Because all the other professions, don't matter if they disappear. But if the farmer disappears, we starve. We starve. Under a progressive empowerment party, we will elevate police, farmer, teacher. We will elevate them and their status. We will make sure that those are the people that have access to becoming millionaires. If you have an acre and you're growing and you're doing well, next year you're getting a second acre. Now you have 2 and you reach 5 and 10 acres because you're hitting your targets. And once you hitting your targets at the price we set, we cut out the middleman, we distributing it to the public through wholesale and retail markets. The price come down to 1/3 of what you paid for food now. So all of a sudden, your food bill come down by 2/3. You're paying 33% of what you was paying before. All of a sudden, you could own a home. You're no landlord trying to kick you out. You and your family know you had to make that $477 payment every month because you don't want to lose the house. That is your equity. That is your savings. That is the roof over your family head. And all of a sudden, you could afford to live. And we plan to zone all schools, remove the SEA, give all the children a GPA so that we could monitor the performance of the teachers and reward financially the ones who consistently perform well and remove from the service those who should not be teaching anybody's children. But if you are living in a community where your children could go to school, 10-year school, like the Finland model, we didn't invent it. We didn't invent it, but Finland, head and shoulders above everybody else in the world, All of a sudden, you're living in a community, your children growing up 10 years, from 5 to 15, with people that will be friends for life. The cost of food come down, the place secure, and you're liking yourself. You don't, the state don't have to involve themselves in sport and carnival. People will make up culture in this country. Right now, we have no real culture unless it's brought to you by Digicel, B-Mobile, Angostura, or Carib. That is nonsense. That is not a real reflection of the people. We need to go back to a real reflection of the people, and that can only happen when the people feel actualized and set on fire for the country they live in. That is not our situation now. That is not our situation now, and we have to face that. We have to be very, 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 very clear in our minds that we understand where we're supposed to be as a nation. This is not it. This is not it. True talk. If what you want is a better country, if what you want is a better country, if anything that I said tonight that is Progressive Empowerment Party policy resonates with you, this Saturday, come and hear it more. Come and hear it better. We will be in Bandstand, Lounge Park, Chagonas. Real nice entertainment, doubles and corn soup. Come and join the PEP family. Come and stand in the defense and the rescue of this country. Let us begin the work of saving TNT.
Your vote will decide our destiny. Your vote will decide what you want to be. Your vote can foretell
Our country's state, we use it well.
before it's free. If it is that who you're voting,
Fail beyond a doubt. When you're voting,
vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the proven,
to be only full amount. When you're voting,
vote them out.
vote them out.
If it is the time, it's now that
Change must come about, just as how you vote
them
them.
in. Vote them out. Register and vote them out. If they don't see, vote them out. State your finger and
Those who would like to call in,
no mercy. Vote them out. Vote them out with total scorn and utter disdain. Let's put our country together again. Vote them out of power.
terminate the reign.
Let's put our country together again.
682-2110. If you would like to call in, 682-2110. If you would like to call in, I am taking calls now, 682-2110. If you call in, when you're calling, if you're calling, say where you're calling from and listen to me on the device you're calling from, not on the device you're watching me on, because there is a delay.
If for 30 years you
Voted them in. Hello, good evening, you live?
Yeah, good evening, Phillip. How you doing?
So far so good, how are you, my friend?
I'm from,
Where you calling from?
Toronto. Happy birthday.
Toronto. Thank you very much for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
I just watching you live here, but it doesn't seem like I'm live with the call.
You live with the call, it's just there is a delay between what you're talking and what is broadcasting.
Okay, all right. I got you.
Yeah? Thanks a
All
lot.
right.
Thanks a lot for the birthday wishes, my friend.
Yes, just to call it, keep up the good work and, backing you up right here.
Thank you very much, my friend. Make sure to link up with Anil and Marissa and everybody, right?
Hey, I just want to let you hear now.
Uh-huh.
I am part of the Canadian team here.
Excellent news. Thank you, my friend. Let me take some more calls, right? Enjoy your day.
All right, okay. Have a good night.
Hello, good evening. You are live.
Good evening, Mr. Alexander. I'm a young caller. I'm 23 years of age. I heard you say on one of your past live streams that you want to basically give bonuses for teachers that, produce the best children, that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And I applaud that initiative, but what I want to know is what systems or what measures are you going to put in place to prevent, I don't know, like, say, the plumbing down of the system. Some teachers might cheat the system just to get the bonus.
Let me answer. You want me to answer you here or you're listening off it, on air? Okay. Our answer. Thank you for calling. Our answer to that is simple. And hello, good evening, you're live. Could you hold 1 second for me? Our answer to that question is simple, and that is we are going to be guided by the GPA, the performance of the student and the teacher. But the teachers will not be applying the exams. It will be done professionally by exam supervisors, so nobody could interfere with the exam. The exam is being provided to the schools, and exam supervisors will administer the exams. Hello, good evening, you're live. Sorry about that.
Hi, good night. I just want to wish you a happy birthday and to say great job this morning on CCR and TV6 Morning View.
Thank you, my
and
friend.
I hope you can spread your joy all over this country. And I just letting you know, as a person who in these civil rights movements with workers' rights and things, you have a hard road ahead. And I agree with a lot of things you're saying, that we need to bring the love, care into this country back.
Absolutely.
And we could do this together.
Absolutely.
Not by one person.
Absolutely. It's a we thing. So I'm hoping we see you on Saturday in Lynchburg.
I'm not going to be there, but I want to come and register.
You can come and register there, or you can register every Saturday at noon at 19 Stanmore Avenue.
Because I only know about you through Facebook from the first time you.
But you could go on the website peptt.com.
Yeah, I have you. I follow you every night. Every night I listen to your program.
What I'm saying is, you could go on peptt.com and join.
No problem.
Yeah?
I want to register and have the card because I felt insulted anyway that. How free how much register.
Yeah, no, that all of that is part of level up. Don't worry, we will deal
what
with
they
that.
have to understand is you get the audience from the social media, good? But eventually, if they did this in the earlies, you will have a more followers to understand what you want to do and what you want to change.
Thank you, my friend. I'm looking forward
and
to
that is what they don't understand. And if they want to, they see equal rights, we say equal rights, but we don't give it.
We need to give it.
And we need to get it. And as you say, there's a certain element in this country. We need to let them know it's time poor people get their just due.
Absolutely.
Instead, we are being treated like we don't belong to the equalness of the pie. And that is, it's hurtful. It's hurtful. It's hurtful. It's very hurtful. So I, one person, never voted in my life. But I can tell you the day of election, I will be voting for my community, which is Mova. And just to help change the stigma we have inside here.
Much appreciated, my friend. Have a lovely evening. You made my day and my night. Thank you very much for that.
Most welcome.
Take care, my friend. Good job, Mova. Hello, good evening. Welcome, you're live.
Yeah, hello, good evening, sir.
Yes. You're live? Yeah, you're live.
Yeah, good night.
Yes, good night.
Is Mr. Alexander?
Yes, it is.
All the time, happy birthday and good night.
Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much.
From
And
Siparia.
From Siparia, thank you very, very much, my friend. You're joining us Saturday at Blanche Park?
Yeah.
All right, looking forward. Come and shake my hand. I want to meet you in person when you come.
Okay, sir.
Take care, my friend.
Yeah.
That man called back 5 times to get through, Mr. Siparia. I respect you. Hello, good evening. You're live?
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, I'm calling from the San Juan area, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I just had a question because I work in the medical sector, right?
Yes.
The state that our medical sector is in right now, from the war to the ways that stuff are distributed, even these cases, sometimes they get a box of gloves, or to get proper care. Sometimes they come for something simple as an ultrasound and everything.
Okay. No, I want to ask you a question, right? I'll ask you 2 questions. One, are you coming Saturday to Lunch Park?
I would like to, but I'm not 100% sure.
Do your best to come to that. Secondly, I would like you to listen. I would like you to listen off this call. I'm going to explain our medical policy, for a healthcare sector policy, for you to hear, okay?
All right, no problem.
Thank you for calling in, my friend. Hello, good night, you're live.
Yeah, hi, good night. How are you going, Phillip? I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. This is Felix, strong guy.
Hey, how you going, sir?
Good. Everything good. You're going good, man. I want you to keep it up, right?
I'm watching you.
I was following you this morning. I heard the interview this morning, and I followed you tonight. You're doing very well, and I will be there at the Valley.
But I see you in the trenches doing your part too. Don't think I'm not seeing you. Working hard. You're working hard. I'm watching you. I will see you in Lunch Park, my friend.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
To the guy who just called from Sam about our health sector reform policy, it is straight up, decentralized. We are going to build 41 constituency healthcare accident and emergency 24 operating 24/7. We're going to open the market for doctor assistants and nurse practitioners to broaden the medical field. We are going to make sure that each constituency has its own functional healthcare facility so that healthcare and emergency response is always within minutes. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Phillip. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Right. This is Riyadh Tambako for it.
Hey, all is well?
All is well, all is well.
See you Saturday?
Of course you see me Saturday. I must be here.
Make sure you bring everybody you could find. Let us send a message to the vampire system that the game is changing.
Yes, and I like how you did Valure take up this morning, man. That was real good. Top of the line.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Alright, I'll see you on Saturday.
Take care.
Alright, nice.
Yeah, that's where we at. That's where we want to go. We want a better country. We want a country where every creed and race could find an equal place. We want a country where everybody have a chance, hope and opportunity. We want a country... They give you big words and enslave your soul, promising your roads and give you potholes.
If they are the reason why the economy won't sprout,
when you're voting, hello, good evening, you live? Hello, good evening.
How are you doing?
So far, so good.
Hey, good evening, Phillip. How are you?
Who's this, Anil?
So, yeah, it is.
How are you going, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. You know, on behalf of the Toronto team, I just want to wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you.
And, you know, going back to what you were saying earlier on tonight, that the team of ladies that you have working in the background, I'll tell you, I am on that thread and I see what these ladies are doing. And I'm telling you,
amazing.
I'm not there. I can say these ladies, you know what? I think if you put these ladies into office, they will run that damn country better than that 41.
And?
I wouldn't say it over here. But you guys keep up the fantastic work you're doing again on behalf of the Toronto team. You know, good luck with everything on Saturday. Wish we guys could have been there, but you know, unfortunately we can't.
Thank you, my brother. Always nice hearing from you. It's always nice hearing from you. Yeah?
All right.
Take care, my
Have a
friend.
good night.
Thank you, bye. Yeah, that's Anil. He is the chair of the Canadian Toronto of the Progressive Empowerment Party. They are very vibrant. We have some international chapters in New York run by Ali G. Ali G is the head of all the international chapters, and she runs the New York chapter. Anil and Marissa and the rest of the team run Toronto. We have Abigail and Japol in Florida. We have people all over the world. And if you're interested, if you're not in Trinidad and Tobago, but you would like to get involved and assist in any way with anything that we're doing in building back out Trinidad and Tobago and building the Progressive Empowerment Party, please reach out to Ali G on my friends list, ALLIEGWE. She is in charge and she will guide you and direct you. If you can't find her, message me directly and I'll help link you up. Yes? To all the people who have been asking what I want for my birthday, I'll tell you what I want for my birthday. I want 10,000 people in Lunch Park. I want 15,000 people in Lunch Park. I want 20,000 people in Lunch Park. Come out in your numbers. Bring your family. It is a celebration of democracy. It is the march for freedom. It is the start of the undo and redo and redevelopment of our country. Come out in your numbers. It is yours. It is for you. It is for you and your family and the generations that come. A better Trinidad and Tobago. Come and be a part of this with us. That is what I want for my birthday. Those of you who want to give me something, give it to the PEP. Whatever donation you could make. We have no deep pocket finances, nor do we want to be beholden to any singular finances. We want to be able to do this as we are doing this. And if you are interested in assisting in any way, or you want to give me something, give it to the Progressive Empowerment Party. Shari Wilson is our head of finance. Felicia Holder is the chairman of the party. You can reach out to any of them. Reach out to Ali G if you're overseas, and she'll guide you as to how to make any donations. Yes? I want to say thank you to everybody for all the outpouring of love today. I feel cared for. I feel like I am part of a political family. I feel like we can do this. I think that we've come to a point where the people of Trinidad and Tobago are starting to see what one people under one flag could be. And I think that this is the end of racist tribal politics. I think we're going to get to a good place. All of the paid mouths and the big talkers and the noisemakers, the bacchanalists, ignore them. Ignore them all. Ignore the trolls. Ignore the haters. Ignore the detractors. Let us build this movement on one people under one flag. Let us look out for each other. Let us make sure that when this Progressive Empowerment Party comes to government, that it, like a rising tide, it lifts all boats. No member of our country must be left behind. All of our citizens must be treated with dignity and respect and equality in every organization of state. I want to say to everybody, thank you very much. I'm going to try to do a live video tomorrow, but I want to encourage you, please, I want to encourage everybody to come out on Saturday. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Hi, good night, Phillip. This is Ali. Happy birthday.
Darling, how are you? I say, but you're going to let the whole day pass?
Well, no, Phillip, listen, imagine on your birthday I will be in the ER.
What?
Can you imagine this thing?
What's going on?
I was in the ER this morning. Last night I was fine, and all of a sudden I had this spell, trouble breathing, feeling this heaviness in my chest, feeling panicky and shaky. So I had to go to the ER and sent forward. Came home 5:45 this morning, so I didn't even go to work. Anyways,
what is the diagnosis? Are you okay though, right?
Well, they say I'm okay, but I have to follow up and this and that and the other. But you know what, Phillip, when God is in charge, everything will be fine. We're going forward strong.
Forward strong. Forward strong.
Well, listen, I want to say to you, happy birthday, Phillip. You have been the beacon of light that most of us have been waiting for. On behalf of PEP International, on behalf of the New Jersey, New York PEP chapter, we want to tell you have a very, very happy birthday. We love you. We stand with you.
You are so sweet and loving. Let me tell you something. You are like, I don't know, you're like the glue that's holding this party together sometimes. Thank you so very much for that, darling. You're an angel. Thank you.
You are welcome. You only getting what you give out, Phillip. You are only getting what you give out. And let me tell you something. The ladies of PEP, I know Anil was trying to say, but he didn't want to quite go there. But the ladies of PEP stand with you. We love you. We will support you. We will pray for you. We will cook for you.
Ali is like an army of warrior princesses. I'm watching them. They're not easy. They're not easy. They're not easy.
They're fighting that way, Phillip.
Hey.
You make sure Phillip to Phillip. When somebody says Phillip and they say it a loving tone.
Thank you, darling. I hope you get better. I hope it is nothing serious. I hope you get better. Take a little break, get yourself well. We need you. We're going to need you and that force that you have. So,
Listen, Phillip, after God, it is 2018. There's no way for us but up.
Level up.
We're playing in the UNC, they can send the millions, the trolls, the monkeys, the donkeys, the jackasses.
Even the trolls joining PEP. We're leveling up in 2018.
All the way. So, darling, you have a blessed night. Everybody on the live, love you all. Join PEP International. Email us. Find me on the live. Inbox me. This is the way for Trinidad and Tobago going forward. There is no hope but with PEP. Thank you, Phillip. Good night.
Thank you, darling. Thanks a lot for that. Well, I could sleep well tonight. All the good people they calling. Listen, we are the only way to save our country. We are the hope. We have to come together. I will be on 104.7 tomorrow. at 11 o'clock with Robert Amara. There's a standing engagement. Every Thursday we do that. So you could tune in for that. Yes, we do a live video from there as long as the internet allows it. Again, and I just want to say, and I'm appealing to you, if you can assist, you all are seeing the amount of work we're doing. You all are seeing the amount of effort and sacrifice we're making. If you can help us financially, we need the help. Now there are things that they have to pay for the rally so that it can be the best event that we've had. Let me just take this one last call. Good evening, Andrew John. You know you have to call in.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I can't have my best buddy birthday go without
And
telling them happy birthday.
thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. The team looking out for you. They say like you're showing up, so you need to come and assist with the rally. So be there.
Yes.
So I think when you come off the phone with me, get in touch with Felicia Holder and find out what help she needs from you with your car and everything else to get people up and down and stuff, right?
No problem.
Take care, brother. Thanks a lot for your birthday greeting. I appreciate
I
it.
just want to tell you, I like how you handled this morning on Emmy.
Thank you very much.
It was good.
Thank you for that, my brother.
Alright.
Talk to you on Saturday when I see you.
Of course.
Bye. Yeah, so let's bring this to a wrap because it's going on long. And when the people come to watch it after, they say, oh God, it's more than an hour. The Progressive Empowerment Party wants to be the rescue of Trinidad and Tobago. It's a we thing. It's all of us. Come on board, get involved, see how you can add yourself, your skill set, your passion, your patriotism, your love of country, love of people. We stand together, hand in hand, one people under one flag. peptrinbago@gmail.com, peptt.com, PEP app. We have an app. It's called PEP app, 2 words, PEP-APP. It's available on all the app stores, free to download. We will be in Shaguanas Lounge Park on Saturday at 3 o'clock. And we will begin the process called Level Up 2018. We will start a political earthquake, a tsunami that will wash this country clean of all the mocking pretenders and office abusers. We are going to undo and redo and fix Trinidad and Tobago so that the children can play in safety and the elders can live in peace. We want a nation built on hope and opportunity. Our crime plan starts with redeveloping our people so they don't have to choose crime. This is not about lock up and lockdown. This is about fix it so everybody have a chance. Under a Progressive Empowerment Party government, jails will become universities. We will treat our people with the dignity and respect they've long been waiting for. And we have faith and dream of a nation where all of those people actualize and maximize their potential and make Trinidad and Tobago the paradise on earth it was meant to be. To all of you who stood with me today and tonight, all of you who defended me all day today because they've been attacking me for some of the things that Fazir brought up, the whole jackass comment with the Prime Minister. And I said today, and I will be putting out a media release tomorrow, that the moment Keith Christopher Rowley as Prime Minister apologizes to the women of this nation for his boorish and sexist remarks, for his indecent descriptions of the women of this country, the moment he apologizes, I will apologize for calling him a jackass. Not a minute sooner. Thank all of you for tuning in and staying with us today. See you tomorrow. See you in Shaguanas Lounge Park Saturday at 3 o'clock. Stay safe, Trinidad.